The most degenerate YouTube animators. Okay. Okay, buddy. Let's get into it.
Thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring it. More about that later. Also, I got very sick when filming this, so I guess deal with it. So animation on YouTube has come a long way since its start around 2008, with a lot of creators present on platforms like Newgrounds, which was one of the primary hubs for animated content at the time.
I know nothing about that. This guy's
Still
old.
kind of is. I just remember playing games on it as a kid, like Age of War,
I knew it. This guy's old as hell, bro.
Last Stand, which apparently became its own game.
I'm thinking in my head, what is
But a
that?
lot of creators started uploading
Go
their
fast.
content from Newgrounds to the new and upcoming YouTube, which as of 2007 had just introduced its partner program so you could earn money from your videos. But in the early days this led to animations like the ASDF movie and Nyan Cat, both of which were abused more than any black tar heroine of those days because you could not escape them. Then in the early to mid 2010s,
Yeah, no, Neon Cat was, dude.
YouTube animation got another big
Even because it was like in 2007 or whatever. I was barely born then. It was still around very prominent in 2012.
boost with things
That's insane.
like storytime animations, which led to the rise of creators like Domic, SwoozyTube, Jade Animations, and Odd Ones Out,
These two, oh my gosh, these are my favorite YouTubers of all time.
which since then has inspired the next wave of creators
I
doing
used to love them so much.
similar content. Animation on YouTube has come a long way since it first started, but what hasn't changed is the fact I am so grateful I am not an animator.
Also
Having to
Domix.
sit there for hours on
And Emi Yuichi? Yeah, Emi
end with
Yuichi.
keyframes and drawing the same thing 24 times over, slightly changed just for a single second of
Although I think she was a bit later.
animation, just for your software to inevitably fail and you have to start all over again. Yeah, you can take the cock and ball torture in open winter air elsewhere, thank you very much. I'm not built for that. However, with the rise of animation on YouTube and its many gifts like giving us Zach Hadel, it was still unfortunately not immune from its fair share of infamous creators, and don't get me wrong, it's doing better than other similar communities, especially the art commentary community.
No, I will say that, embarrassingly, Jaden Animations is kind of my YouTube crush. Of course.
Get out! And it was.
She's way out of my league, and I'm not talking about the real her, I'm talking about her cartoon character.
Get out! This is what people mean by you are too chronically online. I'm chronically online. I go to the gym. The only time I go to the gym, the only time I go outside is to go to the gym. Yeah, you would still not pull this shit out of me. This shit's insane. Holy fuck. I'm not talking about the real Jaded animations. I'm talking about the...
Nobody, and I mean nobody, forced you to say that, so why did you tell us? But despite the YouTube animator community being revered for its talent, range of personalities, engaging
That's a VTuber fan. I almost guarantee he's a VTuber fan now. I almost guarantee it.
stories and just
I'd be
overall
extremely
positive
surprised.
reputation, at the same time there are some creators that seemingly have the opposite effect. So today I thought we'd look at some of said creators and what they did to deserve their reputation as the more infamous side of YouTube animation. Starting with one that may be viewed as a more gentle kneecapping compared to the others.
Yeah, he's sometimes fun.
Shows I mentioned.
Sometimes fun.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Hell yeah.
So one of
Hell yeah, Bob Ross.
the
Hell yeah.
entries many would add to this list is Nutshell Animations.
That was Bob Ross that said that originally, right?
You have probably come across
sure.
their content in one form or another, especially if you are on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, which is another reason to download Instagram Reels, but Nutshell started uploading in 2018 with a lot of his first animations actually using his own personality and voice.
Hi, what can I get you?
Hi, yeah, can I get a number 2, 3 number 5s, a number 8, and a number 69?
His start was very similar to the starting point of many other big animation channels, but before that, let's talk about today's sponsor, War Thunder, something you've heard a lot about on
With
this
all due
channel.
respect, I'm not watching this ad. because I know how far. Yeah, 1 minute 30 seconds. I'm not watching that. With all due respect, I love this channel though.
War
Don't get me
Thunder for
wrong.
sponsoring this video.
And I'm sure War Thunder is an amazing game. Okay, I just
Anyway, back to Nutshell and his earlier animations. Their art style was constantly developing and changing with each video, topics varied dramatically, and usually their earlier content makes them seem like a completely different channel when you compare it to their later content, but Nutshell would deviate slightly from other animation channels. Whilst yes, if he kept making the story
Roblox in a nutshell. Oh, this is top of the pedos. Let's talk about the. No, sorry, my bad. It was 6 years ago that he predicted this. He predicted all of this.
and more personal
No, my
videos, it
bad.
may have potentially panned out in the future like other animation channels, but he didn't do that. Instead, he found a type of content that was a lot less personal but a lot more profitable in terms of channel growth. And that was animated meme content, taking the audio of a popular meme of the time and animating it most times with his own interpretation of it.
Helicopter, helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter.
Eventually he would build up a library of said short videos and most were getting a decent amount of views. But YouTube wasn't the only platform he was performing well on, as in 2020 TikTok was reaching new heights in popularity and
I met him on TikTok.
he had started
I'm
uploading
gonna be honest. The first time I seen this guy was on TikTok, and he was big, dude. Look at this, 8.7 mil. Every single one of these are millions, at least 3 million. Like this is insane,
his
dude.
content there as well.
If these are somehow a minute long, dude, imagine how much money he would be making right now. Like just from TikTok, because TikTok's supposed to not even pay you that much. But from this alone, bro, oh my gosh, that would pay you a lot. Like dude.
Which to say the least was one of his best decisions, since a lot of his videos racked up millions of views and some even went viral, whilst also directing a small amount of people back to his YouTube channel where they could see content like behind the scenes of some of the animations, and in general some of his longer form content. However, in 2021, with the launch of YouTube Shorts, he would evidently start using that as a vehicle to push his channel further, and his YouTube channel began to mirror his TikTok. He put a lot more effort into short form content than anything else, which was an obvious decision since this was the content that got him the most attention.
Yeah, it's smart.
And with this, he would reach 1 million subscribers.
Although I think you get paid less. I'm pretty sure you get paid less doing short form than long form. So it just
shortly
depends on
after
your
in
channel. But yeah.
2022. At this time, both his art style and signature characters were easily recognizable, and he would start to be noticed outside of the platforms he regularly posted on. Even at this point, he did face some criticism, like how in some videos he would not credit those behind the original audio or idea, and some viewed his content as subjectively cringe or somewhat over-sexualized for the audience he had at the time. But said criticism was outweighed by the success he was seeing from his short-form content, and the fact that the audience that regularly viewed his content didn't really seem to care. By September of 2024, he had now reached
I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought his channel was weird. No hate to him, I just thought his channel was weird, so I just dipped. And so when he says like too sexual and stuff like that, that's exactly how I felt. Like seeing it with like, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. For that type of stuff, well, to an extent, not really, but to an extent. But seeing it with animations, it's just weird to me. It's just weird. Like it just is. If it's not like anime, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird to me.
Million subscribers, and still he would continue to grow from there. In the current day, sitting at over 10 million subscribers. So you're probably wondering, how can this guy, apart from the critiques I already mentioned, be hated and considered one of the more infamous YouTube animators? Well, I'm getting to it. Calm down, you ADHD-riddled fuck. Well, in January of 2025, the commentary YouTuber Bedo999 would make a video where multiple animators had contacted him to share their experience with Nutshell, because Nutshell wasn't doing these almost daily animations by himself. As a matter of fact, it was alleged at this point he wasn't doing much of the animation at all.
Nah, it's crazy. And I'm assuming that means he doesn't. Is that he has a team? It's that he's stealing or something?
But you wouldn't know that because he wasn't actively crediting the people behind these videos. And in the video they go on to explain how Nutshell had an army of animators, apparently up to 20, with more often than not most being offered $50 per animated video, despite Nutshell making significantly more per video. One of said animators apparently
You can argue that's smart, okay? You can argue that's smart. But that's an asshole. You're an asshole if you do that, okay? I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah. That's just crazy, dude.
spent 8 hours per video and the quality showed, but
8 hours per video. Yeah, literally like $6 an hour, bro. You spent 8, dude, that's insane.
after only getting paid 50
Dog, honestly, as sleazy as it is, your best bet is to just make animations that take like an hour max. Dude, bro.
dollars and sometimes only getting
Holy
paid after doing
crap.
2 videos for him, and there was known issues with how long it would take for him to pay said animators, but with how many hours this
What?
animator
Oh, nah.
specifically was putting in, this meant they were getting paid around $6 per hour, which is well below poverty levels. That is straight
Yeah.
up sewer levels.
That is insane, bro.
And another animator reached out and it only took them an hour and 30
Minimum wage is like 12 or 15, right? I think where I am is 15. I could be wrong though.
minutes to make their animations for him, with significantly less quality compared to the other animator, and despite doing less work, they both got paid the same, even when the
Nah.
one that put more effort in got more views.
Nah. And this is literally, dude, this is paid less. This means he was paid less, bro.
Now I know
No way.
animators are notoriously underpaid, and you can question the morals of
Okay, but this is even worse, bro. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. At least like when you're there as an animator MAPPA, you're with a group of, you're with a group of people that are suffering with you. It's like a trauma bond and shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that with this guy. You don't have that. Like that's insane, bro. Like I just would have taken that. I'm gonna be honest. You know?
of Nutshell doing this, especially only paying $50 per animation, even though they technically carry his channel and most definitely should be paid more, but these animators agreed to do this work with these conditions. From the video, they were told the price beforehand. From what was seen, they were not promised that they were going to be given credit for their work. He even before forbid one of the animators from just commenting on the video saying they drew it because his agency didn't like it and the channel
What? That's insane.
isn't supposed to have a face or any identity to it. So yes, he is underpaying them and that sucks, but
So is he owned by like a big just corporation or something?
as adults, they are agreeing to be underpaid. No matter how many hours they put towards the content, with once again no credit, they still agreed to do it and produce the animations. They
Fair,
could negotiate
it's
for
true.
more pay or to actually be credited, but admittedly with my own speculation, he might have just dropped them and gone for somebody that would take
Yeah, I would imagine he just dropped some. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's
the
tough.
50 buckaroos and not take credit, but in my opinion, these animators are adults. They weren't forced to do these animations, they could have refused, but they still did the work and accepted
It's weird because you have good artists like this that take undercut work, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? And then you have people that are upcharging $500 plus for an emote that is not animated whatsoever. Like, what is this, dude? Like, this is just insane. And I know, obviously, like, I order and stuff like that, but just crazy, bro. Like, holy crap. Like, this is just insane. This is something, especially because I feel like this is something AI would probably take take and just do for him eventually. No? Like, wouldn't AI just do this? Like, I'm gonna be honest. But like for like, stuff that takes more time for animation, obviously, it's gonna be harder for AI to like copy it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
the payment they were offered. And from my understanding, it's not like they were contracts or they were employees of him, it was mostly like commission work. But The key word there was as adults, as further in the video and in their follow-up, it's discussed that allegedly Nutshell commissions a number of animators that were underage, which is quite a step up from just fucking over adults to make a profit, which still looks bad, but they are adults. But if those that are being reached out to are underage, and are probably less aware and don't know any better compared to the
Then you're taking advantage of kids, and that's just flat out wrong. By any measure of respect, like any measure of anyone decent, you're just doing the terrible thing. Like there's no bro. Nah, bro.
adults, yeah, it starts to look a lot worse. It starts to look a lot like child labor. On top
Yeah.
of him apparently telling them they can do work whenever they want, but then apparently gets frustrated and lectures them when they don't do the work he told them they can do whenever. Yeah, it doesn't look good and is very morally
You can do the work whenever you want. I'm so accommodated to guys. Why the hell did you not finish this fucking work in 3 hours? Listen, buddy. I know it would take the common person 12 hours if they're experienced to do this animation, but the fact you couldn't do it in 3 hours is a fucking problem for me, okay? I'm gonna need you to work harder or you're getting gone, okay? Listen, no, and honestly, if he said that, I can't even say it. I can't even make a joke out of that. No. This is of a child. No, hell no.
wrong, but he would later respond to the video
Sorry.
and the claims against him, basically saying what he was doing wasn't illegal, and he was correct, but morally wrong and possibly taking advantage of people who don't know any better. Yeah, but he eventually took down his response video, and in future videos he did start crediting the creators that animated the videos. It's unsure if he did start paying these people well after this situation,
Doubt
and
it.
it didn't have any long-term effects on his channel. It still does pretty well to this day, but I will say his reputation has been significantly affected and is
Yeah, as it should be.
still somewhat negative to this day since it happened.
Do you
That
suspect
doesn't surprise me.
some alien subterfuge behind this failure?
So James Bear was a YouTuber that started uploading in 2014, and in his earlier content you could see he was clearly inspired by the late Eddsworld's YouTube series, even attempting to make his own version of it called Jamworld, which continued all the way to 2018, but you probably won't recognise some of his earlier work. You would more recognise his animations for specifically this character, Claire. And videos like After November are reference to what happens after Not November. Nothing
I have not seen any of this.
happens, by the way. It's not like the Shangri-La Easter egg. Your semen doesn't get a pack-a-punch or some shit. But James started
It actually does. You literally levitate, bro.
to gain more traction around 2019.
It's like a jizz machine. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like a fountain. Like if you do it after that, you just die. Unless if it's inside of a woman. So you literally can't do it ever again. Okay? That's what happens. Okay? So if you did it, if you're finished with NNN or whatever, just make sure you're with the woman, okay?
Especially on videos involving Claire, in which he would soon reach 100
Because if you're not inside one, like you kind of die. You know what I'm saying? If you're inside one though, like you could get resurrected. You know what I'm saying? She resurrects you and stuff. Like,
100,000
it's chill.
subscribers in December of the same year, and his channel would continue to grow from there, reaching 300,000 subscribers in September of 2021. Now I could say James was a very promising animator and he potentially could have become an even bigger animator in the future, but one, it was too early to tell. And two, in the following year of 2022, James Bear's YouTube career would come to a crashing halt, all
What
down
happened?
to his own deplorable actions. Just to warn you,
What'd that just say? Uh-oh.
actions.
Is that woman in the thing? I'm assuming he had like him and a woman. Is that woman in the animation 9 years old or something? Oh hell no.
Just to warn you from this point on, the things
Oh,
discussed
oh,
get
hell
quite
no.
disturbing and graphic,
oh,
so
no.
viewer discretion is advised
Oh, no.
going forward. Don't say I didn't warn you, this is about to get very, very bad very, very fast. So in 2022, a post would be made on Twitter by someone called Lalo Does Art about the very disgusting things James had done. But James at that point had been exposed for these same things multiple times, and multiple people had known about them beforehand. Because James was apparently very open about this, especially in conversation. But the first document about this was posted in 2017. But the document was basically unreadable, and the guy that posted it had his own motive. which was to get James to break up with Claire, an actual person, and was James's girlfriend. And the person that made the
Oh, okay. So she wasn't okay. Whew, okay.
document
Okay.
wanted them to break up because this guy was an ex-boyfriend of Claire, and Claire had broken up with the person that wrote the
That's
document and then started dating James. So basically his motive was revenge, not bringing to light the things James had done. And that is later supported because he would blackmail James, saying if he didn't break up with Claire, he would keep the document up, and they would strike some sort of deal, leading to the document poster publicly admitting the document was false and fabricated. Now, it's probably because of things like this before 2022 the claims against James went unnoticed. That and because every time James
This is just what the hell, bro? People are sick. Like,
responded or
okay.
even admitted to the things he did, he would
Like, this is just a sick fast fiasco all over. Holy
delete
crap.
the response or private his account, and each time his responses were either lost to time, not well documented, or fell on deaf ears. But in 2022, the user Lola Does Art made a post on Twitter with an entire archive of all the documents, James's previous responses, and finally the story had reached a wider audience, and evidently James's audience. Now I've prolonged this long enough, but what did James do?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
to be
what I'm
blunt,
asking.
as far back as 2013, when James
Look at
had just
Birdie.
become a teenager, he had a sexual relationship with his sister, who was 4 years younger than him. He would
Okay, Alabama. Okay.
discuss this with multiple people. In screenshots, he blames most of it on
Years
depression,
younger
his
than
health,
him.
and his dad emotionally abusing him, which didn't excuse him from anything. He would say this happened multiple times, all the
How young was your
way to 2016, and even
What
an
am I
excuse that was
hearing?
all consensual, which doesn't help anything considering her age. She was the victim. But quickly
Yeah.
after this surfaced, he rightfully lost his platform. He tried explaining himself
He said 4 years younger than him. This is just
was the victim, but quickly after this surfaced, he rightfully lost his platform. He tried explaining himself multiple times with different excuses, but it didn't work. And in 2024, he would make his 8th and last response before going silent on all platforms. Around that time, someone claiming to be his sister would come out with
okay.
their own document
Okay. Big bad. Okay.
claiming James didn't stop what he was doing in 2016 and
SA. Yeah, I didn't know we had the okay. Yeah. He phrased it, I'm assuming it was because of YouTube, but he phrased it in such a way that I was like, what is happening here? I didn't know exactly what's happening here until I see this. Okay. Got it. So we do have the healer and SA. Okay. Yeah. What the hell? What the hell?
continued to SA her, with his last attempt being in 2020, and more about the things James had done in disturbing detail, and even that she had told her mother at one point and she did nothing, and the proof that she was the sister was a picture of his setup, and she asked if people could donate so she could escape her current living situation, but she would then take down the document due to her family apparently disagreeing with this choice, and apparently she did all of this because she was upset, and in James's response video she would apparently be present,
Upset because she was getting taken advantage of, or like, because if she's upset, like, of course you're gonna be upset from that. Like, what? I'm confused. Wait, what?
corroborating the story that none of
Wait,
this
what?
ever happened. The thing he admitted to in DMs multiple times, even made public posts admitting to it when confronted.
It's being brought up. I have to admit about the sister thing. It did happen, but just once when we were just kids. Oh, so you were like 17 and she was 13. Nah, bruh. That's big bad. See, that's what I'm talking about. No. Because like, listen, age is such a big thing. Like, bro, no. Because if someone's 15 and another person's 11, that maturity is way too. Like, I'm sorry, and I'm a person that like you can be 30 dating a 40-year-old. You can be 30 dating a 22-year-old or whatever. Okay, but and listen, am I gonna say that's weird? Yes, I'm gonna be honest, but that's consensual, and stuff like that. But This? No. 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 What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Never happened.
This is Alicia speaking, or in other words, this is his sister speaking, and what my brother James is saying is true. First, I would like to give my deepest apology to everyone for spreading misinformation about my brother and about my own family. Truth be told, that I only came forward because I was only upset and my reasons for being upset were petty and I had a falling out with a friend. Back in 2022,
okay, I could be wrong, but does this not sound AI? No, this sounds completely like AI. This sounds completely like AI to me. And maybe she did that on purpose because, you know, she didn't want to reveal her voice or whatever. But I'm thinking, like, maybe this just wasn't his sister. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's possible that this wasn't, like,
when James was making
but who knows? I wouldn't know whatsoever. So I'm not going to claim that I do know or not. But
his last big response on the whole situation, I was actually going to help clear his name back then, but he insisted that he would do all of this on his own since he didn't want me or any more of his family members to be involved after the drama and especially the doxing situation. He basically took the blame for nothing. Even after all this time, it was never easy for him to admit that nothing happened between us, when truly he was innocent for the most part.
he was innocent for the most part. So, 17-year-old dating a 14-year-old. I think, oh, sorry, dating a 13-year-old. They said 4 years. 4 years age. I think that's a bit weird. My opinion. Hey. She says it and she means it wholeheartedly. Somehow I'm not confused about something. True, but alright.
Lastly, I want
Okay.
people to know that my family is not silencing me in any way. I overreacted when the police got involved for the second time.
Obviously, after this, people thought this wasn't her or James or the family.
That's what I'm thinking. This is not her, bro. This is AI or something. She was this is a deep fake or something. Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but
forced
shoot.
her to do this due to things like previous doxing attempts and police being called to their house, but there would never be any answers if that was the case because, as said, James has been silent since. But still to this day, James Bear is a name many regard with infamy.
Don't tell me this is worse. What's this music for? What's this background music for? Don't tell me this is worse. Do not tell me this is worse.
So this
You better
person on the
not.
list wasn't well
Oh, you
known
bet.
within the animation community initially, but when this situation concluded, they wouldn't be known to just the internet, but much wider, primarily due to the things they did.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what's this about?
This person is Cristalli, and they were a part of the animation meme community. Not like some of the content the previous people I talked about dabbled in, but a specific flavor of the animation community where it's basically like an AMV. It's not really supposed to
Okay.
be funny like you would think a meme would be, but it's supposed to be satisfying to watch with the catchy music and potentially goofy animations. This type of animation has always had a home on YouTube and still to this day is quite popular, mainly
Yeah.
in communities like Gacha Life, although in the
I mean, that is technically an AMV, yeah. I keep thinking to my head, AMVs technically come in many different forms, so I guess that is an AMV. But the type of AMVs I'm thinking of, bro, are peak. No offense to that. Actually, no, full offense to that, because I'm assuming this person was terrible. Based on what this video is about. That was dog shit. Like, that was, oh my god. Like, what we just saw there? But anyways, let's keep going.
aftermath of this situation and what they were exposed for, a lot of their content would be removed from the internet, but has been archived on re-upload channels. It's said they started making this content around 2017, and what was known about them around this time from what they told their audience is that she was a teenager from Guatemala who, apart from her native language, was also pretty fluent in English as seen through her regular interactions with her community through videos responding to comments.
I thought to say hi like this. So here we go. Thanks to Delphi, to Chicken the Nugget.
Now, despite starting in 2017,
Oh, so she's like wholesome content. Wait, what? I'm so
her
confused.
channel grew pretty
I'm not gonna lie, those are still bad at music videos. But I
fast
am,
gaining of
in my opinion, that's just my opinion. But
1,000
I'm still
subscribers in the
confused. Like,
first
what
few
happened?
months, and nearing the end of the following year, almost
Oh,
80,000
damn.
subscribers, and at their
Okay.
peak, 100,000 subscribers in 2019. However,
Okay.
such a fast rise was not without its fair share of controversies. The usual age for the audience of this type of content is fairly young, apparently 13 to 24, but in my opinion,
Probably 13 or 17.
it's more towards the lower ages of that range, but they
Yeah.
would start to receive some criticism for some of their uploads which you could say were sexually charged, on top of the fact they had a Patreon that was straight up serving NSFW art for a
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why? Why? Like, why? Why? Like, listen. I know what I said beforehand in saying, like, you know, because I am a freak and stuff like that. I won't lie about that, okay? But I hate how, like, I hate how, like, normalized this shit is, dude. Like, this should not be normalized by any metric of anything, dude. Hookup culture, any Patreon stuff like that. Like, this should not be normalized. I hate this. This is stupid. Like, why is shy? Different rant for another day. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going,
price,
chat.
and with
Yes,
some
sir.
of
Yes,
said
sir.
art being of other YouTubers in the
Oh my
same niche
gosh.
as them, which not only
What? Wait, what?
and with some of said art being of other YouTubers in
Bro, why you have to do this with Wolfie Chew, bro? You're weird. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Because what, like, this person actually was like a wholesome animator. If you don't know them, they actually seem like a nice channel with her and her boyfriend and stuff like that, and like they did stories together. You fucking-
the same niche as them, which not only is extremely weird to have on a
Jeez,
YouTube channel
dude.
that kids mainly visit, but making weirder NSFW art of other creators' characters that said kids can access for your own monetary gain is
That
fucking
shit's
terrible. Also
yeah.
around this time, people would start to notice some of their animations and artwork were traced from other creators. She would start
That's
to receive
not even
some
surprising to me.
backlash for these actions, and a lot of creators she had traced would add fuel to the fire, publicly criticizing them, but the backlash wouldn't result in anything really happening for the most part. They would later apologize, essentially saying they had Parkinson's and it was hard to draw because of that, and some would just brush this off as them not knowing any better because they were a young teen, but that excuse would only work if they were a young teen and actually who they said they were, because it would be discovered not only by some of their earlier uploads they had taken down, but by later allegations against them that Cristelli wasn't in their teens. They were actually 4 years older than what they said they were and was 20. And not only that, they were not a female at all.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex and today we're recording a new video to question and answer. That's it. Answer questions. It is or no?
And that voice you heard earlier,
Just a voice changer.
that was one of the many females he
Right.
commissioned for the voiceover for videos, who
Oh,
also
okay.
weren't very happy that they were not being credited for said work because Cristelli wanted to keep up this facade. So
That
an
makes
adult
sense.
man was basically running a YouTube channel pretending to be a teenage girl whilst also creating sexually charged videos. They were tracing and advertising straight up NSFW content he was making on a different platform. Yeah.
That's insane.
It gets worse, by the way. So the person behind Cristelli was David Alejandro Pascual Argueta, born January 7th, 1998, and when people started to slowly find out he wasn't who he said he was, he would kind of go back and forth owning it and denying it. He would upload videos with his face talking, and then he would quickly delete them after, and then he would go back to uploading the same content like nothing ever happened. But
What the hell? What?
for a little while longer, he would still have a platform, down to some still not being aware he was a guy and some simply not caring. But that wouldn't be for long. Actually, not only would he lose his platform, he would also rightfully lose his freedom. Around 2018, a video would be uploaded by Lemmercat, someone that had previously done a collab with Cristelli, going into how he had sent her disturbing messages, NSFW
Listen. I don't know if this is a child or not. I have a feeling, and I hope my feeling's not correct. But even if it's not correct, You shouldn't send these type of stuff online. I'm gonna be real, bro. You just shouldn't. Like, you just shouldn't. You can do whatever you want, bro. But even between like two consensual, you shouldn't do it. If y'all two break up, you're done for. All of that could be spread anywhere the hell they want to spread it. I think you're insane for doing this. I'm gonna be honest with you. But hey,
content and had been requesting inappropriate pictures of her despite her being a minor and him.
What the? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course my feeling's correct. Why would it not be correct? Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense why he was getting arrested now. Yeah, okay. Great.
Knowing
Love
her
that.
age.
That's
This video is
fantastic.
also one of the reasons people found out who he actually was. And once again, you would think this would be enough to end Cristalli, but this situation wasn't covered significantly around this time. On top of the fact Cristalli or David had weaponized his audience, harassing and even at one point doxing other creators who dare speak about his interactions with this minor. This meant that the name Cristalli was able to exist with somewhat of a following.
That's actually insane, dude. She might have felt trapped literally too to do this type of stuff. Bro, you see.
For a bit longer past 2018 into 2019, and it also meant there would be more victims, with another case where he had apparently been dating a minor that was 8 years younger than him when
12? 12. Who was 12? This man was 20 years old, he said. Oh my gosh.
he was in his 20s, and he did the same thing he did to the other victim. And two other creators who were also minors would come out with their stories on David, where he would once again message them inappropriately, request pictures, and send explicit pictures to them. And finally, a lot more people would take notice, and eventually even more creators, with more victims coming out with their stories.
Bro. I definitely don't feel bad anymore for thinking his voice was funny now and almost making fun of it. Fuck. Because earlier, the reason why I was holding that in was because I was like, you can't do that. But now, bro, tell me this man was beheaded. Like, this man just should be, like, I'm just gonna be honest. That should happen. You know, like, I'm gonna calm down.
With the amount of people that now knew about the situation, a number of reports would be made against David's YouTube channel and to David's local law enforcement, where David in April of 2019 would be taken into custody and have all of his devices.
So, like, we use the guillotine
Seized, and all of this was recorded and covered on his local news. In an article regarding this, it would say that he was accused of receiving photographs of underage girls and making sexualized anime copies of the images to then sell on illegal websites. The charge against him would be trafficking, in which he would only receive 3 years and 5 months.
Huh? Where is this guy at, bruh? For human trafficking? For children? This is only 3 years. 3 years. 3.
In jail, and apparently due to the length of the sentence in Guatemala, he could
No, I'm not sorry about
potentially
shit.
set
3
free to avoid
years?
going to jail.
3 fucking years. 3 years. We're doing this? Trafficking. 3 years. 3.
At all, but you would still have to go on the sex offender registry and have to comply with anything the court has set, like house arrest or parole. Now, we don't know if he actually did get this offer to pay or if he did go to jail. There was no other news regarding this, and obviously people were disturbed the sentence was so short. But by now, those 3 years and 5 months would be over, and despite his main channel being removed in 2021, some have theorized he is still on the internet, operating another YouTube account. But there has
3 fucking years. Listen, okay? Even though I would like a beheading for this guy, I know maybe I'm too critical of people, okay? But at least like 6, at least like 8, at least like 10. 3 years having this shit with proof of trafficking, and he's literally getting like he is in jail for trafficking for only 3 years. What country is bro in? What country is bro in, dude? Like this has to be like bro, I don't want to know. I actually don't
And
know.
no
Never mind.
significant evidence to prove these
This hurts my
proposed
head, bro.
channels may be his. Make sure to check out Jormy49's video on this. A lot of the information here was found through his video, and he also goes into way more depth about the deplorable things this person has done.
Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more stuff. Oh, there's even more stuff. Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Eating a meal?
Fantastic. Yeah, sure. Like, there's even more stuff. Like, are you serious?
Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir.
So those were some YouTube animators who are infamously regarded in the community. Obviously
Okay.
some worse than others, and some that have left a stain on the history of YouTube animation for one reason or another, and unfortunately there were a lot more I could have mentioned, but YouTube animation nowadays is doing fine. You have some genuinely impressive and entertaining
I love Autumn and Jen Animation. She has a VTuber now. It's like a crocodile person. I haven't seen that because I'm gonna be honest. The only VTubers I really watch is like Fillion, sometimes Shy Lily, and Megalodian. And that's like those are like the only 3. I'm gonna be honest.
It is on the platform, and instances like this are rare and obviously not unique to anime.
But the model seems cool.
Although there are quite a lot. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to talk about today. Once again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check it out. It's free on PC, PlayStation.
You ever... Shit. Oh,
and
fuck.
Xbox. You can find the links below and in the pinned comments to grab your bonus pack, including multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive Eagles of Valor.
You ever yawn and it feels like it breaks your jaw? Oh my gosh.
Vehicle Decorator, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. Available on PC and consoles for new and returning players who haven't played for at least 6 months. And don't forget, you can even play it on the go with the new mobile version of the game. But yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
Crazy stuff. Actually crazy stuff. Okay. Loyalty is here. Oh, this is my alt account. Okay. So, amazing YouTube content creator. I'll leave the video down in the description. Tell me what you guys thought about this, but holy crap, dude. I truly thought the first one was terrible. Like, I'm like, you taking advantage of who now and doing this, and then the last one, bro, we're not even gonna talk about it. Like, nah, dude. I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found this entertaining. I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day, and goodbye. Good God.